world is a canvas of raw, elemental beauty, from volcanic plains shaped by fire and ice,
to the vibrant, hidden depths of ancient rainforests, teeming with undiscovered life. And in the crushing abyss of the deep ocean, giants glide through a world of profound silence and mystery.
But in nature's grand design, some creatures defy the very rules of life and death.
Our journey begins in a place that feels ancient, a simple freshwater stream. Here, a humble creature, the Planarian flatworm, demonstrates an extraordinary power.
With clinical precision, the worm is severed, an act that for most would mean certain death. But for the Planarian, this is not an end. It is a beginning. The secret lies in its neoblasts, master stem cells that can become any part of a new body.
From one, two are born, each a perfect, living clone of the original, an organism that can achieve immortality through division.
6. Another form of survival, one that pushes the boundaries of endurance to their absolute limit. On a patch of moss, in a world too small for our eyes to see, lives one of nature's toughest survivors. The tardigrade, or water bear, a microscopic marvel of resilience, lumbering through its miniature world.
But when its world dries up, the tardigrade performs a seemingly impossible feat. It enters a state of suspended animation known as cryptobiosis, becoming a lifeless, desiccated speck.
In this state, it can withstand the freezing cold of solid ice.
The airless vacuum of outer space. And levels of radiation that would be instantly fatal to almost any other living thing. Protective sugars replace the water in its cells, turning its body into a glass-like state, preserving it against oblivion.
All it takes to reverse the process is a single drop of water.
Life returns. The tardigrade awakens from its near-death slumber, completely unharmed.
5. Some creatures don't cheat death by suspending life, but by simply refusing to grow old.
Deep on the Atlantic floor, in the cold, crushing darkness, lives an animal that seems to defy the aging process.
The American lobster. Some can grow to immense sizes and live for well over a century.
Its continued growth is a testament to its longevity, a life spent in the timeless abyss.
But with endless growth comes a recurring, dangerous challenge: the need to shed its rigid shell.
Its biological secret is telomerase, an enzyme that endlessly repairs its DNA, preventing the cellular decay of aging.
While not truly immortal, it does not die of old age. It simply grows until its shell becomes its tomb.
4. A creature whose lifespan is not measured in years or decades, but in centuries.
Beneath the frozen ceiling of the Arctic, in near total darkness, time itself seems to slow down. Here lives the longest living vertebrate on Earth, the Greenland shark.
Its clouded eyes, blinded by parasites, have witnessed entire chapters of human history unfold.
It moves with an ancient, unhurried grace, a consequence of its extremely slow metabolism. Scientists estimate its age at up to 500 years, a living relic from a bygone era. It returns to the darkness, a silent keeper of the deep's oldest secrets. In the quiet stillness of a freshwater pond, an extraordinary life form thrives.
This is the Hydra, a simple polyp whose biology holds the key to eternal youth.
Its body is a marvel of simplicity and efficiency, a living fountain of renewal.
Composed almost entirely of stem cells, the Hydra constantly regenerates, shedding old cells and replacing them with new ones.
It doesn't age. Instead of growing old, it reproduces by creating perfect clones of itself. The parent remains unchanged, functionally immortal, while its offspring begins a new, identical life.
2. One final marvel of biology, a Hydra, a creature that can not just halt aging, but reverse it.
In the vast expanse of the open ocean, the cycle of life usually moves in one direction.
But for the Turritopsis Dohrnii, the so-called immortal jellyfish, that cycle is a loop.
When faced with stress, injury, or the brink of death, this tiny animal refuses to perish. Instead, it initiates a remarkable transformation. It reverts its own cells, de-aging itself back to its earliest stage of life. Through a process called transdifferentiation, its specialized cells become stem cells once more, ready to begin again.
The adult jellyfish becomes a polyp, the infant form from which it first grew.
From this polyp, new jellyfish will bud, genetically identical to the original. A true rebirth. 1.
A force that can silence the vibrant cities of the sea.
And erase ancient forests, replacing them with sterile monocultures. A force that melts the very foundations of the world's most extreme environments.
It chokes the planet's arteries with its synthetic, indigestible waste.
It scrapes the ocean floor bare. Poisons the air we all breathe. And blots out the stars with its artificial glow.
Is us.
An animal that can live for 5 centuries, ended by a fishing line.
The biologically immortal Hydra, shriveling in a pool of chemical runoff.
The ageless lobster's home, pulverized by dredging.
The jellyfish that can reverse time itself, poisoned by a particle of plastic.
This is the Anthropocene, the age of humans, and the planet's 6th mass extinction.
From a distance, our world appears as a perfect, fragile sanctuary.
But a closer look reveals the scars of a single species' unprecedented dominance.
A web of activity that stretches to every corner of the globe, choking the systems that support all life.
Stream, once a source of life, now carries a toxic sheen.
The microscopic world, a universe of wonders, crushed without a thought.
Clear blue ocean, now a soup of ghostly plastic fragments. Stage for a miracle of regeneration, now just a dry and sterile plate. The deepest abyss, once mysterious, now a final resting place for our garbage.
Forest, once a lung for the planet, now a silent, smoldering ruin.
We have built a world for ourselves, often forgetting we are part of a much larger one.
So, what kills the unkillable?
Perhaps the same force that destroys can also be the one that protects, with care and with wonder.
The choice rests with the one species that holds the planet's future in its hands.